Bill Berrien here with us now. And Bill, you entered this race for governor, and a lot of people right now might not be familiar with who you are. Who is Bill Berrien?
So, Jason, great to be here. Thank you for having me. So, Bill Berrien, I am a father of three. Coached my sons in youth sports, high school sports. I served for 9 years as a Navy SEAL, commanding SEAL platoons on operations across the globe. And I'm a manufacturer for the last 13 years, a company I bought 13 years ago, and passionate about growing people, growing teams, and passionate about Wisconsin. It's given me so much, and feel a real drive to, I call it making this a Wisconsin century, starting this decade.
What made you want to be a candidate?
I have a passion for leadership. I see an opportunity. We've been somewhat in reverse gear the last 6 years, and we need to reopen Wisconsin for business, and we need to help businesses here do a whole lot better. Business and people, because if businesses do better, people do better. And I have a real vision for prosperity for everyone through work.
We've had a couple businessmen run, Eric Hovde, Tim Michaels, both run Senate and governor. What can you do that those two candidates didn't do, coming from a business perspective? Because, you know, it didn't work for those two candidates. Why will it work for you?
Right. So, I mean, Jason, I'm a different cat, I think, entirely. How I think about teams, I come from a different background, manufacturing, as I mentioned, special operations community, and I have just a different vision and a different style. And not only are we going to win this race, but I have a vision of how do we extend our majorities across the legislature. And I think this election is very key. And I've got the team, the resources, and the capability to make it happen.
There was a school shooting today in Minneapolis. There was also one in Madison at a private school not that long ago.
Yeah.
Your response to that?
I mean, unspeakably tragic. As I mentioned, I'm a father for three, active in the community, and just my heart goes out to those families and teachers for that tragedy. I mean, just I was devastated hearing about it this morning.
You spoke about concealed carry not that long ago, and you talked about easing up some of the restrictions for a concealed carry permit in the state.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, in Wisconsin we have open carry laws, but we also have a required training and permitting process around being able to conceal carry. Having a pistol in your glove compartment or in a woman in her purse, and I believe that Americans already have a permit to carry, and that's the Second Amendment, and that the state of Wisconsin should not get in the way of individuals, again, a woman being able to carry a pistol in her purse or in her glove compartment, where open carry is currently authorized.
What about within 1,000 feet of the school zone?
No change there. No, I think that's no, not arguing for any change to that policy.
So you would keep that in place?
Yes.
Yeah, keep that in place. So no concealed carry within 1,000 feet.
No concealed carry and no open carry within 1,000 feet.
And about the training restrictions too for concealed carry, you would do away with those, or would you keep some of them?
Look, I am never going to say that I'm always going to say that a person that is going to carry a weapon, it's in their best interest to obtain the right training. I don't believe that the state of Wisconsin should require certain training, certain payment of permitting fees and all for a person to, again, a woman be able to keep a gun in her purse, in her glove compartment, if she feels like she needs that extra protection.
And just one more question on this topic.
Great.
In light of this shooting today, should we have armed police officers or security guards in school? And do you think that would be a deterrent to incidents like what we saw today in Minnesota?
I don't know all of the circumstances of what we saw with Minnesota, and I believe the shooter was off the property, but I don't know the particulars there. But every school is different in its environment, and school officials, parents should take precautions depending on what the environment of that school. But protection of our children is paramount.
So, some conservatives are calling for that, and you're not necessarily saying there should be a blanket approach.
Correct.
President Donald Trump, he is very popular in our area of the state. He did very well in Northeast Wisconsin. How important is it for you to win those voters? And does his endorsement, if he makes one in the primary, is that going to carry some weight, or how important do you see that being?
Look, I mean, what President Trump has been able to do in this term is outstanding. I mean, he has really answered the mail in closing the border, in his path to reindustrializing this country, and he moved every demographic over to the right in this election. And I want to build on those successes and make this the Wisconsin century starting this decade. And I would love his endorsement, because I see my efforts being a direct extension of his efforts to reindustrialize the country. Let's make this ground zero, exhibit A for that reindustrialization. I
know you said that you voted for him in the 3 times he ran, but you're also critical of him during COVID. Did you make the right decision in being critical of COVID, or do you take back some of what you previously said about his handling of that response? And are you worried that that could come back up as an issue in the Republican primary that could potentially hurt you with Trump voters?
Look, as I said, I have voted for him every election. At times, was I skeptical? Yes. Did I underestimate him at times? I did. But again, I have voted for him every time, and what he is doing this term is outstanding. I mean, we haven't seen this level of societal change, since 90 years. Going back to FDR, and it's moving the country in the right direction. And I hope Wisconsin to be at the forefront of that.
Are you concerned about other candidates that might get into this race? Because, typically that happens after Labor Day, and there's been a few others that have been putting feelers out there. Is that a concern or not?
Jason, I raised 3 kids, and when you are teaching your children to run in running races, you say, focus on your race. Don't be looking around, don't be distracting yourself. So whoever gets in. We are running our race. I'm approaching this as a businessman, as an outsider, like you, a veteran, and we have our race and our vision again for making this a Wisconsin century.
And finally, I just want to touch on one other subject: marijuana. It's been legalized in all the states surrounding Wisconsin. Is that something? And it's even been controversial within the Republican Party, down in Madison. Where do you sit on this? And is there any indication that you could potentially legalize any, portion of what Governor Evers has been proposing?
Well, Governor Evers can propose what he wants to propose. I've said that for my part, I am open to considering some form of legalization. So I know that might buck the trend from the legislature, but that is what leadership is about.
What could that look like?
Really, haven't given it specific thought yet, but just open to the possibility of considering.
I know some Republicans have said medical marijuana. Would you at all be open to recreational usage?
Again, just open to considering and having those discussions.
Bill, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Jason, love your viewers. If they like what they see, to go to billforwisconsin.com. And again, would look forward to more interaction, more talk.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Jason, thank you. Appreciate it.